So you guys are gonna hear a little bit of radio in the background just because I didn't do any monetizing on this video. So I'm gonna play some music in the background, but nonetheless, today we have pretty much finished up the front half of the lift kit. I believe we did finish up the front half of the lift kit last night. Now it's on to the rear, which is gonna be kind of finicky because I don't have enough jack stands at the moment and we're on a time frame to get this one done. So we have, where are they? I think they're on the other side of the truck. We have 2 of these frame jack or axle jacks, but we need 3 of them to hold up the front just to assist because obviously most of the weight's in the back. So we have these 2 right here, but again, we don't have enough. So what I'm probably gonna do is a little sketchy, but I'm gonna throw the front tires on, lower it down, throw the front tires on, kind of get a feel of how they will sit, and then lower it all the way down until the front tires are damn near touching, and then take out the back, put it on jack stands, take out the back, lower it all down, do a bunch of fun stuff, and then just slide in these little blocks that we got. I say little, but I mean, they're probably still like 2 inches thick. But slide these in there and then put the new U-bolts in with these, and then it should be onto the Oracle wheel ring lights, which are going to be probably the biggest pain in the butt. But overall, yeah, it's kind of the plan. So I'm going to get to work. I am starting a little early today just because we got some things going on. So I want to get this vehicle in and out of here as fast as possible for both the customer and for us. We have a busy week. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So as you guys saw, I only put 4 lug nuts on both the front wheels just to keep them there. I'll probably throw on 4 more, but I probably won't record it. So just so you guys do know, I will be putting on 8, but you guys only saw me put on 4 nonetheless. So now I'm gonna lower it till the front wheels touch the ground or get really close to touching the ground. That way I can go back here and mess with back here. And like I said, put the 1-inch block or 2-inch block, whatever it is, back here and kind of keep the axle and everything, because obviously this axle holds most of the weight for the rear end of this truck, because obviously the truck bed is empty, so the rest of the weight is up front on the motor, and I'm just trying to keep everything safe and secure. So I have to also do rear shocks, that, and then like I said, the Oracle lights, and I have to do the alignment if necessary. So yeah, let me get into that. So this is the setup that we're going with. We have a jack underneath the diff right there to keep the diff, you know, the axle from twisting forward or backward. And then we have jack stands underneath, kind of in between the shock and everything. Keep out of the way of getting that shock bolt out. You should still be able to get to all 4 of these bolts for the U-bolts, and then same on the other side. So I should be able to unbolt all of this and then take it up about 1 inch, slide under the pieces, and then raise it or lower it back down, clamp everything back together, replace the shocks, and I should be good. All right, so as I'm already in here, I'm just gonna take off the shocks real quick. That should help us be able to lift it up. Nothing's stopping us at the moment, but that's just the next step I'm gonna do. And working with non-powder coated stuff is so much easier. Again, it's a rough country kit, so it's getting the, I think these are N3s. These might just be, well, these are just the M1 monotube rough country shocks. Nothing super special, but that's what we're putting in. So put those in, the tops in right now, and then I'll kind of mess with it to get the lowers in. All right, so we have the lift block in back here. We have both shocks in. Go to the other side, it looks the exact same. So like I said, blocks in that. I put on the two jack stands and the jack in the center, worked flawless. We still have to tighten up the lower shock and just go through the upper shock. And I believe I also have to go through and just kind of go through everything, but gotta tighten up the upper control arms and everything once I get it seated on the ground and maybe wiggled around a little bit. But now pretty much what I have to do is throw on the rear tires and make sure everything's good. But I'm debating whether I try these wheel ring lights real quick just to see if they will work or not. These are gonna be kind of fun because the way I did mine was a little different than the way they're supposed to do them. But I'm gonna open these up real quick and just see how they work. So I did the entire back end. Front end was finished up already. Like I said, I think I have to go through and do the upper control arms. I'm gonna go through everything regardless once I put it on the ground. But I got the tires on, and that's currently how it sits. So these are, I think, negative 51 tires or rims for offset. So pretty interesting setup, but I'm about to put it here on the ground and we're going to find out what I'll have to trim and everything. Unfortunately, it does look like I won't be able to run the wheel ring lights because on the back here, the hub and everything makes it really tight. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you, but basically back here, just through everything, especially right here on the caliper, it literally rubs like right on the caliper. So there's no easy way to mount it and then put the caliper and everything on it. So I'm just gonna tell the customer that we're gonna have to get bigger wheel ring lights to be able to run them, which is no big deal. I had to do that on my truck. I measured out mine. You might have to change the brand just because it looks like this brand only sold one size, which is 16.5. And that's pretty dang small. I think I'm on like a 17.5 or 18 or something like that. I'm on a Customs Unlimited one, which is also like that white platinum or whatever. So I'm gonna get this thing lowered on and we'll see how everything sits. And it should be pretty cool. So yeah, this place is super tight in a madhouse right now, but I'm gonna do my best to get you guys an angle of it sitting on the ground. So as you guys are able to see, definitely fills up the front wheel well pretty well. I have a feeling I'll have to take off the back there, trim the front right here. We're gonna find out in a few minutes. I have to make sure the alignments, everything is good. Driving around, like roll it forward and backward a little bit and go from there. So yeah, just give me a few minutes and we will see what we all have to modify. All right, so I haven't updated you guys in a little while, but we did kind of go through this and test it to figure out what was gonna rub and everything. We rubbed back here, but there's only so much I can do back here. I did take off the mud flap which is right there. So I took that off. I don't know, that probably saves us 6-8 inches. And then I hammered it a little bit, but you can only move it so much. So he's gonna have to deal with some rubbing at full lock. 3/4 lock, I think it's good. Up front, I hammered, there's a screw right here, and then there's a screw on the other side. You can only hammer so much because there's like a piece of frame right there. But as you guys can see, I hammered quite a bit of that. And then we trimmed up a good amount of this. Kind of left that because there's a bolt right there, so I left all that. But it clears. And then on the other side, I did the same. Might not be exact or perfect, but still the same idea. So we took off the rear mud flap, and then we hammered it and shaved it again. A lot of people are gonna complain about that, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It clears it down there. And again, the bolt's there, so it's not gonna shred a tire or anything, even if he's at a weird turning radius. So now I have to go take it for a test drive and confirm that everything else is good. Hopefully it's good. Then I can take my final photos and video of it, and then we can give it back to the customer. All right, guys, so here it is, all finished up. One thing I will tell you guys right off the bat is do not do these balancing beads. I could hear them rolling around in there. For some reason, I have to say it against Custom Offsets. They decide that doing balance beads is much better because then you don't get to see all the wheel weights and whatever the heck else their reasons are for doing this. But this is how it turned out. Rides pretty good. It rides really good for what it is. Front wheels need to be rebalanced, so we'll be doing that in the future. But again, we have 20 by 10, I believe. Archons, I don't even know which kind these are, so I probably should, but I'm not even going to try. I think they might be the Mandelas, but I have no idea. So it is what it is. And then it's on a 35-inch RBP Repulsor RT, so kind of a street tire, or an AT tire, I guess I should say. And then, like I said, we have the 1.5-inch block and the monotube shock in the rear. And then you come up to the front, and again, you have the 20 by 10 Archon with the upper control arm and the shock as well. Then you have the spacers underneath the shock, and then you have the keys underneath. So if you guys are looking to get your vehicle built, anything like this or more, we can do it. Again, if you order all the things through us, we can make sure that everything's done properly and exquisitely. Other than that, I gotta take my photos and it should be done. You got anything to say about it?
Looks good.
So he didn't even get to finish the half of it. We had a family emergency and I had to bail us out, but that is what it is. Of course, these diesels, no, this isn't a diesel, but the 2500s sit much higher. Like I said, this is a 3-inch, I believe, maybe a 3.5, somewhere in there. But it sits super high. We haven't figured out what size that Jeep is, but that Jeep is I'm gonna say 2.5 on 37s, and it sits higher than that by probably 2 or 3 inches. My truck's not here because I drove the Subaru, and then we have his Jeep on 35s or 37s, but on a 3.5-inch kit. And I would say it's probably an inch or two taller than that even. But yeah, that's how it turned out. Like I said, we had to do a little bit of rubbing, a little bit of trimming, a little bit of removal, stuff like that. But that's what you have to expect. So hope you guys enjoyed this little episode, and hopefully we can do more work in the future for some of you guys on YouTube or wherever this all ends up. And just come get us. We're in Appleton, Wisconsin, building vehicles. So stay tuned to all of our Facebooks and socials and check us out everywhere.